I was just thinking. Reasons why you should not fall for the trend and the fad of moving to towns along the western I-90 corridor. So you should avoid trendy towns like Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, Missoula, Montana, and Bozeman, Montana. These people in these towns are trendy, far left, and far right. And they're obsessed on both sides with culture. And they destroy culture wherever they go, on the far right and the far left. And they always think they're original by going to these trendy spots. And then they fight, and they are so obsessed with culture and cults, they control everything. They're control freaks. They destroy everything because everything is impure and is a sin. So they ban smoking. They are obsessed with music and controlling it, and they go to it. They'll spend a ton of money at it, and they destroy the show. They destroy it. And they're old. And if they're young, they're old people. They're old people when they're 20. They're lame. You stay away from these trendy spots because they destroy culture. They're expensive, overpriced, and they are not the salt of the earth. But they're obsessed with the salt of the earth and trying to be it and chase it and find it. For example, here's how the Trendies are. Years ago, when this first started, I first started noticing they're obsessed with music and destroying and controlling the shows. And a lot of these musicians will not come back because it is just disgusting what these trendy people do. They will go to a show and they're very ungenerous. And they think that they are, and they're so narcissistic. That's another thing. These trendy towns like Coeur d'Alene, Bozeman, Missoula attract the narcissists. Absolutely disgusting, and narcissists destroy music, but they're obsessed with art, just like Hitler was. The one thing they can't do is create, and they are obsessed. They're really good at mimicry. They can mimic and get away with it, but they are not artists. So here's a good example, though, of how these prim and proper narcissists destroy music. Years ago, Gillian Welch was on tour. This was quite a while ago, but this was the beginning of the bland people destroying the salt and the culture. And my sister was like, ooh, she's going to make a pit stop in Bozeman. And she wasn't going to stop there, but it was sudden, spur of the moment. And the tickets sold out, and my sister got a couple tickets. And it was a really spur of the moment concert. So we go to the theater, and it's all these boomers and old Gen X, the older side of Gen X, with their kids. So it's all these gray-haired people, lame ass, okay? They had their fun back in the old days, and now no one else is allowed to have fun. So we get in this theater, and Gillian Welch is putting on a fabulous show. And my sister and I couldn't clap, we couldn't whistle, we couldn't yell or show any appreciation without getting severe glares, people hushing us and telling us we were rude. We were ruining the show for them by showing appreciation to the musicians and the artists. And it was so controlled and uptight and sick. And Gillian Welch got really disgusted And she said, I'm only going to be playing for the people in the balcony. The people way up behind us in the balcony were screaming and yelling. They had the cheap seats and they were really far away. And she said, I don't know if I'm ever coming. She actually said, I don't know if she said F you, but it was basically that. I don't think I'm coming back to you guys because you're so stiff and you won't clap or anything, because she didn't know they were silencing us. Like they were totally lame. And they think this is being considerate and nice to them, to not be generous and have fun and show appreciation for the artists. Like, I do know Gillian Welch is coming back, not to Bozeman. She's going to Red Ant's Pants, which I would be driving for if I still lived in Bozeman, because they always sent the best drivers over. But I quit going to a lot of shows in Bozeman because of the crossed arms. And they would go to these shows dressed all prim and proper, like the millennials. They're old people too. They go to these shows and they have their little knit sweaters on and they have their arms crossed the whole time. And if you even touch them, they have this space issue. Like, oh no, you're close to my space. Oh no, you moved. And you can't move. And they're so ungenerous. They won't even buy a drink. They won't tip the bartenders. They come in to see the culture and be lame, and then they leave. And they're really worried about space and being touched and dirtied and anything. Like, so there's this control that causes people to overreact and rebel. There's these extremes now. And I really noticed the death of balance and having a good time at a show. In 2008, it was overnight when they put in the indoor smoking ban in Bozeman. And if you don't smoke and you don't go out to shows and dive bars, you don't know. It was overnight. What I saw go on was total lack of diversity. There wasn't a lack of characters, people, ages mixing together, and then more of a mellow or fun time. Instantly, overnight, it became pure binging and out of control people who can't handle their alcohol or have a good time or socialize. It's just pure binging and going nuts and hooking up and not really socializing or having a fun time. It killed mosh pits. The smoking ban, who knows why, but the personalities who have a good mosh pit, they don't show up and the music starts dying. So you prudes who legalize the marijuana, and it's all right to be like totally doped up on that and stinky, but you can't have tobacco. You have destroyed culture. You're uptight and you're destroying music. And it's really strong in the trendy spots that attract the cult left and the cult right. Avoid those spots, please. Or else, wait a minute. Why don't you all congregate there? Butt your heads up against each other. Stay right there. Stay there. Don't go anywhere else.